Hi all, it's Kristen. Welcome back to my channel. So today I got a ColourPop order in the mail. Yeah, I did. No, I got a ColourPop order in the mail. I was excited about a couple of items that came out. As you can see on my eyes, I tried the Lilac You a Lot palette, which is their quote-unquote purple palette, because It's My Pleasure was not purple. I was saying it, now everybody else seems to be jumping on board. This is what the Lilac You a Lot palette looks like. I did go ahead and use it for my eye look today. Yeah, and then I also got the new Pretty Fresh HA Tinted Moisturizer, which looks like this. I got the beauty sponge, which is, I used it, so I will show you like a little clip before I used it and what it looked like before. I love sponges. And then I also got the, what is this called? The Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. Yep, so I got these items, so we're going to go ahead and play with them. I'm going to show you my eyes, what I did with my eyes first. And then we're going to jump into me applying the Tinted Moisturizer and the setting spray. So yeah, here we go. So with the eye palette, what I did was I started with Imagine That. That just seemed like a really good transition color. So I took Imagine That and I used that in my transition area. And then I wanted to go ahead and do a little bit of a lighter transition on there. So I took a little tiny bit of Zoned Out and I just kind of went over the edges of Imagine That with it. And then I went into the color Iffy and I put that directly into my crease. And it gave me a little bit of a hard time, so I had to build that one up a little bit, but eventually it worked out very pretty, very nicely. And then I went into the color Filtered and put that on my outer V area. And then I took Trainwreck. And first I put it on dry with a dry brush, just to see what I could do with a dry brush on it. And then, to amp it up a little bit, I went in with my Fix Plus for MAC and I spread a little bit of Fix Plus on it to make it wet so that I could give it a little bit more oomph, which turned out beautiful. Yep, and then I decided to do the rest of it with you at the end of the video after I finished my makeup. So that's what I did for my lid though. So here's the sponge dry. And then wet, it reminds me a lot of the Real Techniques Real Techniques sponge. So there we go. So now I'm going to go in with this. It looks like it's going to be a little dark, but since it's a tinted moisturizer, I doubt that's going to matter. So I have this in 8N, light 8N. Gotta get the pump started. There we go. Oh yeah, this is a little dark for me. That's okay though. You know, I probably should use my fingers, but I want to try the sponge too. So on this side, we'll try the sponge. Oh yeah, that's giving me like zero coverage. Which again is a tinted moisturizer, so I'm not like expecting a lot out of it. This reminds me a lot of the Real Techniques one with the flat side. And then over here, let's just rub it in with our fingers, shall we? Oh yeah, that's giving me a little bit more coverage over here. It's not like amazing coverage, but it definitely looks like something. It definitely looks moisturizing, that's for sure. Yeah, you can definitely tell, at least I can. Hopefully you can tell on camera. Side I use my fingers, side I use a sponge. You can tell that it's definitely covering up more over here. So I'm going to put in just a little bit more over here. Apparently, one pump, you get a lot of product. And I'm just going to go ahead and rub it in with my fingers. Again, it might be a little too dark, which is very odd, but it feels super moisturizing. It looks super moisturizing. It looks dewy. I'm mad at it. Let me find my mirror. Okay, I don't think that's bad at all. Okay, so then I'm gonna go in with my Laura Mercier concealer. I have the ColourPop one, but I'm not a big fan of it, so I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier one. Just give me some coverage under the eyes. And around my nose, get that redness around my nose. Because good lord, there's the redness around the nose. Going back with that sponge. Okay, I like the way that looks. It makes my skin, with the concealer, my skin looks good. Alright. Okay. I have no issues with that. It still feels really dewy. Oh, that's going to get really messy really quickly. I can already tell. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so I like that so far. So then I'm going to go in, and even though it's like supposed to be really light coverage, I'm still going to set my under eyes for my concealer. I'm not going to set my face really because, well, I guess I could to kind of keep it in place. But if we're going for low coverage, like, let's, because it is super dewy, let's take, I know, we're going with like the really, really inexpensive stuff to the really high-end stuff. Use what you got, people. Use what you got. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Airless, what is it? Airbrush Flawless Finish. And I'm going to set my under eyes with it. And then very, 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 very lightly, just kind of press it all over my face. I'm not a powder queen, but I like this. This is kind of a finishing powder more than a like setting powder. That's why it's called a Flawless Finish powder. There we go. Definitely took some of the dew away. Definitely took some of the dew away, some of the shine away. But I still like the way it looks. I may have to go down one in this, I may have to go down in color, especially in the winter. But I like that. Okay, I like that. That's very light. It's very, very light. Okay, so I did my eyes. I showed you what I did with my eyes. So now I'm going to go back in with Imagine That, which is that color we started with. And I'm going to put it underneath my lower lash line. And I'm going to take a little bit of that last color that we used on the outer corner, Filtered, which is the deeper, brighter purple. And I'm just going to keep that right on that outer third. Not even outer third, just that outer like corner right there. Connecting it to the where I put it in the outer V. Alright, so I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and put on my on the setting spray, and then we'll discuss. I realized I didn't show you, or I had it done. I'm going to use the color Cloud for my inner corner highlight. I'm using like all my eye brushes today because I'm going to wash them after this. So I was like, alright, let's just use all of them. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. I'm using a lot of different ones because I'm going to be washing them. Let's use a little bit of the color under it called Wake Me. Well, that's a little bit more bright. Kind of adds to it. Okay. Okay. Alright. Now before I put on my mascara, because I like to put my setting sprays on before I put on mascara just so there's no chance of it like smudging my mascara. So the setting spray is the same color as like all of it, that peachy color. So I'm going to shake it. Let me see what it says. It says Pretty Fresh HA Setting Mist, a microfine refreshing setting mist that hydrates for healthy looking skin. Shake well, hold 6 to 8 inches away from your face, close eyes, and mist directly over skin. Use after makeup or mist throughout the day as needed. Okay. Okay. So shake well. Ooh, you can't even really tell it's on you. That was like the finest mist I've ever felt in my life. I barely could tell it was misting me. Smelled interesting. I'm really not sure what it smells like. It smells kind of fruity, like they were going for fruity, but I'm not really sure what it smells like. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you. Kind of has a fruity scent. Kind of going for like peachy or something along those lines, which isn't my favorite scent, but whatever. Alright, let me do my mascara and my lipstick, and then we'll talk about the products. Okay, so everything's on. What do we think? What do we think? First of all, the palette. Let me get the other palette out. The one that I was so disappointed in. So when this color was, wow, it's really like faded. When this came out, the It's My Pleasure palette, people were like, this is their purple palette. And look how purple the packaging is. I was like, ooh, I love me some purples. And when you're looking at it, some of them do look purple, but a lot of these colors come off really, really pink on my eye. Like really, really pink. I can get much more pink than purple out of this. Like, yeah, and I like this palette, don't get me wrong, it just wasn't my purple palette. It wasn't what I wanted. Girl, this is what I was talking about. Lilac you a lot. Lilac you a lot. And ColourPop, thank you very much. These colors are what I'm talking about. These are purple. These are purple shades. They're, even Imagine That, which was that first shade that I used. It looks kind of brown in there, but, sorry, I don't know why I put on my middle finger, but it's definitely got a purple undertone to it. Got a purple undertone to it. Yeah, that was a bad place to put that, sorry. These two shades right here, this shade is Iffy and this shade is Filtered down here at the bottom. Zoned Out, Trainwreck that I put on my these are purple. It looks like Ghostin' and Wake Me. And Cloud kind of looks a little more, nope, Cloud is actually very, very purple too now that it's kind of a pinky purple. But Ghostin' over here, Wake Me, and Cloud just a little bit looks pinky. The rest are purple. The rest are the purple. I'm so excited. I feel like this eye that I have going on here is purple. In case you can't tell, I'm excited. I'm excited. They performed just like any other ColourPop palette does. The dark purple, the Iffy that I put in my crease, because like Iffy and Filtered are the dark matte purples, and those actually Filtered wasn't that hard to work with. Iffy, you know, I had to work a little bit into the crease because it got a little patchy. No matter what brand it is, I don't care if it's ColourPop, I don't care if it's Pat McGrath, I don't care who it is, purples are hard to make. Purple eyeshadows for some reason are just, they're difficult. But these perform really well. Yes, I had to work a little bit for Iffy to get into my crease without patchiness, but girl, it worked out nicely. Now, the last three down here, Zoned Out, which if you saw, I kind of just put on the outer corners because imagine that worked really as good as a crease or as a transition color, but I at the last minute I kind of wanted to use this one as well, so I kind of put it over the edges. But Zoned Out, Iffy, and Filtered, they're all considered not safe for the eye. So back here in the back it says, not intended for use in the immediate eye area. So they don't have a flat out glitter in this. Like Cloud and Wake Me. Cloud is the most, and Wake, actually no, Cloud is the most like glittery. Ooh, I didn't even look at Fluffy. Damn, look at that color as I get distracted. Oh, I can't wait to use Fluffy all over the eye. Right there. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Okay. Sorry, distracted by the pretty colors and shiny evidence. But they're not intended for the eye. And the reason for that is because not only are purple a pain in the ass to formulate so that they actually perform, they also can stain the eye. So in this case, it's not glitter that makes them not intended for the eyes, it's the pigment. It's the pigment. Like dark purples, dark peaks, dark blues. Anything with like a red undertone to it, like a red base, it's most likely going to stain the eyes. I will take eye stain that will come off in like 24 hours over glitter in my eye any day. All in all, I love this. I'm going to get tons of use out of this. Tons. I don't know why I said it like that. But I'm going to get... I love this. In case you can't tell. Like I probably didn't look as excited as I feel right now, but looking at this finish eye, that train wreck is like everything. I love it. I know this is only my first impression, my first time using it. I feel like I used a lot of the colors. Again, I'm never disappointed by ColourPop. Yes. Yes. And I'll probably use it with my It's My Pleasure palette to kind of, you know, create additional looks. I really like this too. This Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I like this. I like the way it went on. It's a little dark for me, which is weird for a tinted moisturizer. I may get another one the next time I make a ColourPop order because it was $14, but there's always a coupon code. Always. I don't have one, but I'm sure you can find one. Everybody else seems to have one. I don't have one. But I like it. It looks really nice on the skin. It went on really... I definitely prefer the fingers with this. It gave me the most coverage. I didn't try it with a brush though, so... Didn't try it with a brush. But it looks smooth. I mean, for a tinted moisturizer, my skin looks pretty good. Of course, it's a lot better these days, so... On good skin days, I don't see why you wouldn't want to wear this. And then I set it just because... I did. You don't have to set it if you want that dewy look. But because we're going into like fall and winter, I think more matte looks are on the horizon. But I think this is a good base just to kind of give you that no makeup look. And I think that's the other thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to come back in, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to do a no makeup look. It's going to not consist of, you know, purple eyes. But it's going to look good. It's going to look good. Kind of like an in a hurry, don't want to wear a lot of makeup. I have some plans to use this for a no makeup look. The sponge is good. The sponge works like a beauty sponge. I like the flat side, kind of like the Real Techniques one. This was $7. I think you can get the Real Techniques one for like $5 or $6, and it's more easily accessible. So I say get the Real Techniques one, not brush. well, any Real Techniques brush I recommend. But yeah, I mean, it's a sponge. I like the color of it. I'll see how well it cleans, but the shape and the way it feels reminds me a lot of the Real Techniques one, and like I said, Real Techniques is a little bit cheaper, I believe, depending on where you get it, and more easily accessible. This was like, I don't even know if I was spraying my face. Like, you can barely feel it. It's such a fine mist, which I like. I like a fine mist. I'm not sure I like the smell, but that's just personal preference. I like the color of it, though. It's pretty. Like I said, it's kind of a fruity, peachy kind of smell. I'll continue to use it. I don't know that it's going to be doing anything like spectacular to hold my face together, but whatever, we'll see. But yeah, so those are my first impressions of these ColourPop items that I got recently. I hope that you liked this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're excited to see a no makeup look with this, give it a thumbs up. Yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified every time I upload, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.